Okay, what's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're doing the tier list for War as Heck on Void Thrashing. Brian, let's hear the mutation.
Void Thrashing is the map where we have to destroy 10 Void Thrashers before they destroy Sergeant Hammer's completely useless fortress. Each set we destroy reveals the next, unless we take too long and they spawn anyway. Lava erupts close to your guys. The enemies blink when they get hit, and leave fire on the ground which damage your ground things.
Okay, so Twotuu's in the call with us today. Twotuuu, how are you?
Good.
Good, okay.
So far, so good.
So we're gonna speed run this tier list because both of us had to run at some point. So, how do we rank the commanders this week?
This is basically how well your commander can snipe the Thrashers from the side with air units, because going through the middle is just not very smart.
That's true. I had two things to consider. Lava Burst, how well we can avoid that. The best way for most commanders is just by using air units. And the last Thrashers are a bit of a meme because they're in the center of the map, so they can't just hide in the corners. They're like little gaps in between the rest of the map and the last Thrash area, so they kind of hide there, but it's a little tricky, especially when you have enemies with splash damage. So let's begin. Abathur, where do we have him?
So Abathur, he kind of cares because lava bursts will wreck his ultimate evolutions because they're heroic units. So since he kind of cares about the lava bursts, he gets a B.
Same. I also put him in B. He's fine against the last Thrashers once he gets his army, or in this case, Leviathans and a few Devourers. But first part, avoiding the lava while luring with your toxic nests and your roach, it will get painful. So I also put him in B. Prestige wise, I think he's fine. Anything's fine as long as it's not 3. Even 1, I think. You can go Devourers and just snipe the Thrashers themselves. It might be okay, but still probably better to have ultimate evolutions. So yeah, I think he goes in B. Alarak, I have him in B. He is fine with the destroyers and the mothership. I'm a little iffy on the last set of Thrashers because the mothership has a huge hitbox. So you might think that you're out of range of the fire, but it's taking damage anyway. It's annoying to revive because you will need a cooldown for that. So that's why he's B for me.
So Alarak also cares. I think if you're just paying attention to your army, you can just have like a war prism or nearby and warp in supplicants, and then you just manually dodge the thing
fire.
so Alarak can join and use Empower Me, which makes things a lot better. So if you lose your mothership, you still have an army, so it's not that bad. But because he has to pay attention and care about the lava burst, I also put him in B.
Okay, unanimous. Prestige, we will use the third one. You need the mothership, otherwise it's not going to work. Arcturus, what do we have him?
So it's his map. So as I showed in my easy solo, you can do this entirely from your base. So you can just hit everything except the far 2 Thrashers from your base or the natural or your allies' natural. You can kill all of them. And for the last 2, you can just either nuke them or gas everything and then drop troopers or a Pride of August grad or release the Zerg. So
yeah, that'll work.
It's really, really easy. And you can also gas the attack waves so that you don't even have to care about them. So yes. I put him in S.
I also put him in S. I actually briefly had him in double S. But I remembered, oh yeah, you can't camp the very center of the map where the first Thrasher is. You had to put it basically in your base, in your allies' expansion and in your expansion, so you can reach all the Thrashers. But yeah, still pretty good, so still S. So regular S for me. Prestige-wise, since you need the other top bars for the last Thrasher, you probably want to use the third Prestige here, Merchant of Death, so you still have those top bars. Right?
No, P1 is better.
So how do you nuke the last one?
You don't nuke the last one. You just gas.
You said to nuke. Oh my goodness.
I didn't say nuke them.
I
said gas them.
Yeah, yeah, I did say gas, but you also said you can nuke them, so that's using
If
third
you
prestige.
if you use P3, you can nuke them. If you don't use P3, you just gas them.
All
But
right,
if you
fine.
use P1, it's better.
All right, fine. You can use the first prestige here. I would still use the third one because it's cheaper to replenish your defense. So yeah, use the first one. He's still S. Artanis, I had him in A because he can use Tempest Snipe. He can defend at home using the Archon dudes and cannons. If you can do that, cannons are still fine. The blinking is a little annoying, and you can't let the enemies get on top of your buildings, otherwise they'll be set on fire. But other than that, I think he's still A. What do you think?
Oh, I put him in B because he cares about evasive maneuvers. He's one of the few commanders that cares about it.
Yeah,
He can, if he can kill 4 of the Thrashers with solar bombardment, which is good.
this is very
His
good.
defense also kind of depends on. I guess you could just Archon do all of them,
Yeah,
but
I thought it was
depends
easy
on
enough.
your control. And lava bursts really kill your
Tempest,
Tempest if
yeah.
they get caught somehow.
You can bunch
So
them up really hard though. I don't think it's as much of a concern for Artanis as it is for someone like Abathur or Alarak because their
it's
their motherships are huge. Not the Tempest so
true.
much. That's why I still have him in A. So you're gonna insist on B because
He cut because he has to care because he cares about the evasive part as well.
I think if you just
A
spam
little.
Zealots and cannons, you'll be fine. You can even use Shield Overcharge if you really don't think you can just delete it with cannons.
Mm.
Or are you gonna insist on B?
I think the A commanders are stronger, so I put him in B.
Alright, we'll see later on. We'll put him in B for now. Third prestige. You want the third prestige so you can defend effectively with your Archon dudes and also shield overcharge in case things start whacking your tempests. Dehaka, where do we have him?
Dehaka, he has pack leaders. Pack leaders care about lava bursts, but you can also just creeper host, similar to how Meg's
Arcturus. Yeah.
Arcturus blasts everything from home. Except your creeper host will be you just have to dodge a little, but you don't have to really engage the enemies, and you can stop every attack wave with a pack leader.
Yes.
And you just
Or even
so
Dehaka.
pretty much yeah, you just send creeper hosts in the general direction from safe areas, and then you kill them. And by the time you get to the last one, you can just kind of hang out in the middle and then send them in the same direction, and you don't have to look at them. You just pay attention to your army in the center and make sure they don't die to lava bursts. You're not
Yes.
even looking at where the creepers go. So
Yes.
I put him in A, but
Oh,
I think
I
he
did
could
have-
actually be an S.
I did have him in S because I think
I
it's
think he
just
can be an
basically
S.
Earth Splitter. Okay, so I will say that he should be an S. If you agree, then I
Yeah.
will put him in S. Basically the same thing. I think the creeper host strategy is essentially like Earth Splitters, but you need gas. Or actually, no. They hit air is what I was about to say. They hit air, so it's actually better. Anyway, yes, S it is. Fenix, I had him in B. I think he cares. He can use carriers, but it's kind of the same situation as Artanis. Plus, well, I guess you can't defend with Kaldalis at home and your Predator suit and your Dragoon suit. But I think he's if Artanis is in B, I don't think Phoenix can be an A. I think he's B.
For this one, I used only Caldalis, and you can kill all the Thrashers with just Caldalis, ignoring all the air enemies. But you have to pay attention to your shells. So if you're using other champions, you just keep sending in the direction of the enemies, and they'll eventually die. But you do have to kind of avoid lava bursts and care about them. So I think B is all right.
Okay. Prestige, he used the second one, right? Because he used Kaldalis?
Second one,
All right.
yeah.
That's unanimous. Hara and Horner I also have in B. They can use battlecruisers, they can use the carrier galleons, which are fine on offense, but the defense is kind of scary. Yes, you have mag mines, but with the blinking, they can dodge your mag mines. So there you go. That's why they're B for me.
Oh, it's most likely gonna be P2. You get wraiths, so that you can dodge lava bursts and snipe the thrashers. Defense will be strike fighters plus whatever your Han units are that are just waiting at home because they're not going to be doing anything else. I
They're gonna be
put them in
barbecue.
B.
Yeah, okay. We're good in B. You said second prestige. I also think second prestige is
Second
probably the
one.
best. I was thinking battle cruisers, but you said rates, so use whichever one you prefer. So let's put it on B. Karax, I had him in A because you can use mirages, you can use carriers, and at home you have cannons, Karax cannons, and shield batteries and energizers. So I think Spear of Ruin also. Spear of Ruin, pretty good defense. Just try not to spam orbital strike too much because they do dodge. So I think Solar Lance might be better, especially if you have the fire. You can fight fire with fire, and then just use the mirror just in offense. I had him in A.
Yeah, I put him in A because he heals. His healing,
Yeah, the heal's
his
pretty good.
repair beam is good.
Pretty awesome.
Mirages, so carriers are okay. I guess you can start with mirages and add carriers later. You can have both.
Yeah.
Mirages can dodge the lava bursts, and also they can dodge lava bursts, move away pretty easily. And hybrids don't blink with evasive maneuvers, so you can use orbital strike to blast them down. And you have cannons at home, so if you have an ally or if
cannons.
you don't want to defend, you just use P2 and just all mirages from the start. That's fine too.
Yeah. So A? You
I put him in A.
Alright, let's put Karax in A. Kerrigan, I also had him in A. You can use Mulus Dude Lords are also fine. You want to use Omega Worms to dodge or to help Kerrigan run in and out of the fight so she can defend at home, and then once the waves are gone, you can use your Dude Lords, Mulix for vision, pop an Omega Worm, have Kerrigan do her thing. But it's good. A for me.
Yeah, it's pretty much Kerrigan hero only. You don't really need anything else because you don't really need anything else. But if you want, you can make Brute Lords and help out later on, or even like Zergling Hydralisk and come out of the Omega Worms. But Kerrigan is doing most of the work. And she can just go back and get healed and then return to the action pretty quickly. I put her in A.
Nice. Prestige wise, I think third one is pretty good here. You want a lot of money for the gas units, but if you're gonna go Kerrigan heavily, no prestige might be fine here. If you're gonna use Kerrigan heavily, but the blinking might be annoying, so I think it's fine.
I think any prestige. Yeah, anyone except
prestige.
one.
Yeah, you want Omega Worms to hop back and forth between the defense and the offense. So Kerrigan in A. Nova, I also had him in A. Liberator's pretty good at sniping. Nukes are pretty good at not letting the enemy blink. Also defense, you can just use airstrikes. You can have your turrets there, repair them. You can just blink, or you can just keep Nova at home, actually. And then just have your Liberator snipe all those Thrashers. So A for me.
I put Nova in A as well. The difference between Nova and Artanis is Nova doesn't care about evasive maneuvers as much, and also airstrike. Airstrike just takes out the wave and all the enemies, because if they die in one shot, they don't
blink. Yes.
And your Liberators are pretty much hit scan, right? They just hit immediately,
yes.
And then so they don't really care, and they deal so much damage so quickly to the Thrashers that you can move on to the next one
very quickly
before like a lava burst gets to you. So I put Nova in A.
Agreed. Raynor, where do we have him?
Raynor, B. So he's just a slow battle cruiser guy. If you're Hyperion, if you're unlucky and you summon Hyperion where there's a lava burst, then you just die.
Yeah, it's lame.
But later on, you can use like battle cruisers and run around, teleport. You can like dodge lava bursts, teleport home to get repaired. If you want to use Banshee Viking, that's also fine. It's pretty much P3. I put him in B.
Agreed with Raynor. I would have bunkers on the entrances so that they don't get on top of my mineral line, and just have them repaired. But pretty much everything you said, he has pretty much the same problem as Alarak and Abathur, where his giant air unit will be more likely hit with the fire. That's why he's B. Stat Boy for me is S. He can use Super Gary, he's fine. Zerglings, still. You can use Infestors, they're fine. You can use Corruptors, they're fine. You just do your thing. The Steadlights, yes, they can get hit by the fire, but they respawn, so it's fine. You're fine as Stat Boy. S.
He also heals the units from who are burned by Scorched Earth. So essentially, Scorched Earth is nothing. As long as Super Gary himself is out of a Lavaverse, you will be fine. Because even if your regular units die, your Super Gary can still deal a ton of damage. So I put him in S.
Yeah, fine. Stukov, where do we have him?
Stukov, I put in A because it's slow, but you just send Infested and they'll eventually kill everything.
For me, it's S because it's so easy. It's slow, yes, but he gets the job done. He gets the job done. But
I guess you can dump bunkers in the center, but they'll get killed. So, and if you're unlucky, you might lose more than you expect. So
I didn't dump
if you're
bunkers.
going from home,
I did dump bunkers in the center. I would spread them, some in the center, some in the expansion, some in the allies expansion, so they don't all get hit by the same fire.
The early game is kind of like, especially if you the same with like other Apocalypse or Alexander over a Lavaverse.
Oh yeah, Alexander's gonna be annoying.
Lose that, and then so you don't. If you lose a call down early on to a Lavaverse, then you're doing a lot of nothing.
That makes sense. All right, let's put him in A.
I put him in A.
Yeah, that's fine. Swann for me is, where did I put him? I put him in S. Rates pretty good at dodging, flying, sniping. And then for defense, yeah, you're a Swann. The fun fact: the Flying Betty does dodge the Scorched Earth, even if it's shooting against melee and the melee guy dies in front of it. It's pretty funny. S for me for Swann.
Oh, that's weird. I thought Karax would be better than Swann because of the healing. Because Swann's units don't heal.
Well, Karax can be better than Swann, but they can still both be A. Oh wait, I did put Karax in A.
S.
Oh yeah. I think I put Swann in S because of the concentrated beam of the pulse cannon, which are pretty good at deleting the waves before they even get to you, preventing your base from even getting set on fire in the first place.
You probably shouldn't use concentrated beam on the attack waves. You would probably just use them to clear bases, so your wraiths get to kill things for free.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Like your turrets are really strong. The enemies aren't really stronger, so you just have enough turrets at home, and then if they blink around, doesn't matter.
Why not just snipe the dangerous units with the laser drill's normal attack, so that you can free up your concentrated beam and the pulse cannon for defense?
Oh man, never use those for defense. Oh, what? Those are for clearing bases, not.
I mean, if you prevent your base from being set on fire, I would consider that really good. So you can free up your resources on offense.
You're gonna have static defense at home anyways. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
You're gonna have static defense at home anyways, and the enemies aren't stronger. I mean, if they're immortals and you want to blast them, sure. But if they're anything else, you really don't care about them. So you can just let them go to your base. Doesn't matter.
Also, rates deal more damage than mirages, especially with the moving shot, which you want to be doing anyway because of the fire.
Yes, but since they care, I put Swann in B because he cares.
B,
but I can cut because his units don't repair. So if they get hurt, they're gonna die, and unless you go back to heal them slowly.
They do have the upgrade
It's so slow that it's negligible.
It's fine.
You're in combat the whole time, so you're not going to be healing if you're in combat. And you're not, unless you go back, and if you go back, then yeah, you're not healing in combat. Whereas for Karax, you're healing all the time. So whenever your units get hurt, you're getting healed, and you have shields. So
I'm not 100% on how the reconstruction beam works, but I think it doesn't apply evenly. I remember at least the campaign version, it only repairs like a set number of units at any one time. I'm not sure if it applies to
It's
all
3.
units globally.
It's 3 units, and then
Yeah.
you upgrade it to like 6 or something.
Whereas
But
I think nanoplate or nanoplating or regenerative biosteel for Swann applies globally. So I think that's the more impactful one.
the point is not it's not how much or how many units are healed. It's when they get healed, which is if you're Karax, you're getting healed all the time. So the Purifier Beam also clears all the enemies, and you have a top bar.
Oh yeah, the Purifier Beam is really good.
The Purifier Beam will just clear all the enemies in an area.
So does the Concentrate Beam and the Pulse. So do the Concentrate Beam and the Pulse Cannon, and they are more frequent.
They are more frequent, but they are. I guess I can put Swann in A, but he's not S.
All right, fine. We can settle on A.
He's not better than Karax.
Okay, we can settle on A. I'm okay with A. Tychus, where do we have him?
Tychus plays normally. He's S.
Yeah, pretty much. I was about to say, yeah. Vorazun, I have him in A because all she has to focus on is defense. You can still do the thing that I always do on Void Thrashing, and that is hit time stop, split your Dark Templar among the active Void Thrashers, then right click them back, and then your Dark Pylons are in a control group. You think you can have like 3 and still have constant Shadow Guard production, and then just recall all your guys to safety. Even if you don't, they'll have that Death Recall, which is on a 4-minute cooldown, which lines up exactly with time stop. So if you only have to worry about defense, and you have Shadow Fury, which can engage the enemies before they hit your buildings, I think that's worthy of an A.
All right. I did this with no mining for Vorazun, so you really don't need anything except time stop.
And just a cloak wall, I guess? How do you defend?
With no mining, you can't cloak wall.
Oh, you just use the Shadow Guard to defend.
Yes. So it has to be specific comp, of course, but if you're actually mining and making stuff, everything can be spent on defense.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so even if you lose some units to fire, you're defending in a place with no lava burst. So I put Vorazun in A.
Okay, I was a bit concerned that we were gonna put her in S, but yeah, I guess we agree in the first. I guess we agree in the end. Prestige wise, Vorazun is 1 prestige, Keeper of Shadows. That's what puts her in A. Zagara, where do we have him?
She cares about lava bursts, so like especially for the banelings and stuff, if you're running lings through, they're gonna get burned, and that's not good. You can't. Well, you can hit some places. You can hit the 3rd area with like one of the thrashers with bio launchers, and the rest you cannot. So it's pretty much you have to scourge them. And I guess what you can do is you just play P1, stay at home, and scourge the thrashers. But then you're like you have to watch out for AOE.
Yes.
And that sucks. So B.
Have you considered trying 2nd prestige corruptors? Because the corruptors are pretty tanky in the 2nd prestige. The enemies aren't really stronger.
I think
you just have to dodge the fire.
Effective.
Okay, that's fair. I also put Zagara in B, by the way.
Yeah, I when there's AOE, I use overlords, or I use a few corruptors to bait the AOE, and then I send the lings in, not the scourge in.
Sure. Yeah, it's fine. I also put her in B. I was thinking 3rd prestige you can snipe, but if you want to go to 1st prestige, that's also fine. I guess you can scourge down the slashers, it'll be fine. So B. Zeratul, just you can do spin to win, you can do cannons, you can do demote dude if you want. I think the spin to win might be better on a short map. Cannons, you can, if the enemy's air, you can go Zora Legion. In fact, you might just want to go Zora Legion regardless, because they don't get hit by Scorched Earth. But the Cerberus Legion does allow Zeratul to have sustained presence on the ground, so that the Zerglings and stuff, Zerglings lost, don't wander into your base. So I think Zeratul is an S.
Yeah, he just makes cannons the safest, because if cannons die, so what? Just project them again later.
Yes. All right. Put him in S. I didn't have a double S here. I initially had Arcturus in double S, but like I remembered, oh yeah, he can't really. He has to think a little bit. You can't just camp the center and win everything. You have to think a little bit to put your Earth splitters in different spots. Do you have a double S?
No.
If I had one,
Same
it
thing.
might be Dehaka, since Dehaka plays closest to how he normally plays, not Arcturus.
Yeah,
but yes.
I would still say Manx is the strongest. If I were to choose a double S, it would be Manx, even if he has to stay at home. But that's only because I know how to do it. So
I think-
if you don't know, then you're gonna have trouble.
I think Dehaka is more idiot-proof because you have pack leaders.
I mean, idiot-proof in the sense that
Like
a Manx player will still try to build in the middle.
I mean, in the sense that if the enemy waves, if you can't time your contaminated strike or aim it, or if they just miss, then the attack wave will have to be defended. Whereas Dehaka just nom 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 or pack leader fire. It's fine.
The enemies aren't stronger, so unless they're like heavy air, even if you miss the contaminated strike, you can try again. That's one. Or you can change your ESO to like target them while they're walking towards your base, and you'll kill most of them.
Whereas Dehaka, click, win.
Right? It's more work. It's definitely not. It's
More
not,
work? No, I disagree. Click a pack leader wins. What's
pack leaders are susceptible to lava bursts.
No, don't summon them on the field. Summon them near to the entrance to your base when the attack wave arrives.
Oh, then in that case, Manx, you have bunkers. If you have like 4 bunkers, they can't get through. Nothing's getting through. So
Bunkers
I
need
don't
money
see
and
how-
building and manning
I don't see
repairing.
how a dude walking out has a bigger advantage than someone who does everything from home. I don't get how you can even. I'm not saying double S. I'm saying for top of S.
Yeah, I know. I'm
not
just saying
saying for
Dehaka.
double
But can we agree that Dehaka and Arcturus are top of S?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying Dehaka is better because you just throw your creepers at the thrashers and it's fine.
There's no way Dehaka is better than Manx here on Manx's map. Well, he has 2 maps. Manx has 2 maps.
He has 3. He has several. He has Sight of Amon. He has
Scythe of Amon's
Oblivion
not his
Express.
map. Scythe of Amon is Karax's map.
I guess, but it's so cheesable. It can be anyone's map, unless they're like anyway. That's not the point. Okay, fine. If you insist Arcturus is top of S, he's alphabetically there anyway. But I would say that Dehaka is almost equally good, if not better. So who's third in S?
Huh.
Tychus?
Tychus bottom,
Tychus bottom?
I think.
Okay. I think it's correctly ordered
Tychus.
now. Stetboy, Zeratul, Tychus.
If your Zeratul P3 is stronger than Tychus,
Yeah, I know. Tychus is the bottom. But is Zeratul third person stronger than Stetboy?
no.
Yeah, I think it's correctly ordered. So we have Arcturus,
yeah,
Dehaka, Stetboy, Zeratul, Tychus. Top of A.
Top of A.
I kind of like Vorazun, to be honest, because it's just the same thing every single time Void Thrashing comes up as the mutation map. Just defend and then snipe the Thrashers with your Shadow Guard and Dark Templar, and then blink back or recall back home. But I understand. I understand Novus
it's
Liberator.
basically.
So you agree?
Yeah, because it's basically you stay at home until it's time,
Until
and
it's
then
time.
you go out.
So that's
Every 4 minutes you go out.
okay. So Vorazun top of A.
Yeah.
Nice. Who's next? Karax? He also has that same characteristic of you just stay at home until you have to smash the Thrashers,
Wow.
but Mirages are considerably weaker. And Mirage is considerably weaker, but the Liberators are not. So do you think Nova is second in A? How about Stukov? He's slow, but he gets it done eventually.
Stukov. I put him below Karax Swann.
Okay, let's put Karax Swann next to each other in A.
Then Stukov.
Then Stukov.
Because Kerrigan and Nova is like, if you accidentally lose your hero or something to a lava burst, you're in a bit more trouble than Stukov.
Wait, if you lose Nova to lava burst? Oh no!
Or your Liberators, worse.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, you don't for Kerrigan, you can't afford to lose Kerrigan. For Nova, you can't afford to lose your Liberator. So I guess that's something that might make you mess up. So yeah, okay, I can see that. So for A, we have Vorazun, Karax, Swann, Stukov, Kerrigan, Nova. Oh wait, Nova or Kerrigan? Or Kerrigan Nova?
I think Nova's above Kerrigan.
I think so too. Yeah, Liberators are really good. Not because she's blonde, but Liberators are really good. So for top of B, I think Artanis? He's like a Karax, yeah. And then...
Huh.
Yeah, I agree. Same reaction, huh? Alarak? Because all you have to do is...
thinking Fenix.
I can also see Fenix, because you have the champions who can essentially ensure that you're safe at home.
The champions also like don't care if they die, because your shells are so cheap. As long as you like keep an eye on your shell farm and you just move into the base. That's what I do at least.
How about Abathur?
Into the base.
How about Abathur if you just defend and then just go Devourers to snipe the Thrashers? Maybe add a couple of Vipers just to make sure that your Devourers stay alive. So you think Fenix is better than that?
I think Fenix is better than that.
Okay. Third, who's third in B?
Abathur.
And then Alarak?
Abathur. Then Alarak. Because Alarak can kind of stay at home.
Okay.
If you don't want to go out, Alarak can stay at home.
That makes sense. So the last three guys in B, Raynor's okay on defense, but he's a little spotty on offense.
Zagara's last.
Yeah, I think Zagara's last, fortunately. So between, I think Raynor and Han and Horn is a toss-up whether you like offense or defense. Han and Horn is fine on offense. Raynor's fine on defense.
Huh. I guess. Well. Yeah. Huh.
Yes, I'm okay with that.
If you use P3, it's like a fast map, and P3 takes so long to get started.
So Han and Horn is definitely above Raynor.
I think because like Han and Horn at least has cooldowns to use.
Speaking
and also
of,
you don't need 10 Strike Fighter platforms right away. You can just get like 3.
Speaking of Void Thrashing being a short map, wouldn't that be more advantageous to Zagara as compared to Raynor?
Zagara, if you're using P1, you need time to build up to get the economy.
Okay, so that's our tier list then. So for bottom of B, we have Han and Horner, Raynor, and Zagara. But they're B, not C or lower, so that's a pretty good rating for them. Okay, I think this will be our tier list for this week. Guys, watch Twotuu's channel. I will link it down below, and we'll see you guys next time.